Okay, this is the Wisecrack Podcast. This is Jacob,
This is Preston.
and we're going to be talking about our freshman years in college.
Just all the fun that we had. Just gonna relay that over, to you guys.
Okay, we're first going to go into leading into freshman year for both of us,
Yeah.
and Preston will start first.
Okay. I went to Tech my first year out of college. Had a
Mistake.
mistake, definitely a mistake. I didn't get Raider rash, and so we're all good. It's in Lubbock, out in West Texas, so middle of nowhere. If you guys don't know where that is, but essentially had a real low GPA in high school. I was really happy in the Tech because my whole family is pretty much, Red Raider. So I went there and, decided to choose my major and chose biology. And I'd say it was a good choice. Well, why don't you give them just a brief overview for you? Just give them a brief overview.
I went to Texas A&M. Both my parents and my brothers went to A&M, as well as my cousin, my uncle, and my granddad went to A&M. So, hence some reasons why I went to A&M.
And then I transferred later, sophomore year, to the correct school. Best decision ever made. But
he figured out what his mistake was.
Yes.
Corrected.
Yes. I bleed maroon. But anyway, leading up to college, first talking point, I would say, I think I remember in high school applying to Tech and just being like, God, I hope I get in. Because honestly, if I was on the admission staff, I probably wouldn't accept me. I think I had like a 2.5 GPA in high school, real low. I was just like, man, I hope I get in. Otherwise, everyone's going to think I'm an idiot because everybody got into Tech from my school. But got in. And I just remember like the summer leading up was like really strange. I remember having like strange interactions with my friends, like leading up, we'd hang out and like, normally, maybe junior year of high school, sophomore year of high school, we just, all right, see you, idiot. Bye. All right, you stupid. Bye. But then there's that extra second, it's senior year. It's kind of summertime. You've already graduated. You already walked the stage. And it's like, all right, see you, man. And you kind of like look into like the other person's eyes for a little bit, like, yeah, see ya. And then, you just know they're going somewhere else. And it's a little weird. It's kind of I don't think guys are used to it. I wasn't used to it. I remember because I really enjoyed my friends in college. I was like,
College or high school?
Oh, high school. I was like, I'm gonna miss my friends, but I also don't want to be weird about it. So, maybe my friend would make a layup. We're playing basketball. Actually, my friend did make a layup. We were playing basketball. We were playing against elementary school kids. Not gonna lie. But anyway, and this was leading up to go to college. And I remember I was just sitting there. I was like, yeah, you make that layup, Jake. You make that layup. You just get weird. I don't know. You ever feel like you get weird?
At all? No.
Well,
I think I am the opposite of you, and was pretty excited to go to college.
I don't know if I was. I actually, now that I think about it, don't know if I was excited. I think I just got weird because I really liked the end of high school.
See, the thing is, the end of my high school year, I started taking Cal 1 at a community college.
Oh,
the
right.
last week of my high school career was going to a community college.
Yeah.
And graduating, and then I had classes the next day, or like next Monday.
No.
So summer one after high school, high school, I was taking Cal 1.
Thing is, I'd go back. I don't know if I would go back and I feel like that would be me now. Would be like, you know what? I should take classes before I go. But also at the same time, I'm like, I guess I'm kind of glad I didn't take classes. I don't know. I got to enjoy my summer. I guess it was fun.
I enjoyed my summer after summer one.
Oh wow!
And then
this is how it is today, huh? This is how you're gonna be?
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Jerk.
I was really happy.
Also, to be fair, I don't think I was even smart enough at the time to even consider that. I think I
What,
even
doing classes before going to college?
yeah, no, that wasn't me. I really didn't even think that I was going to take classes in college. Probably just show up, live there for 4 years, and end up with a piece of paper. Just
Ah,
praying that that's how it turned out.
what's
It
the issue
is,
with
and you
you,
know
buddy?
what? Any freshman watching this, that's what it is. You don't need to study. Drink Mountain Dew.
Please do not listen to Preston.
If you can get your parents' credit card before you go, like try to sneak it. Like it's okay. Like it's like electronic money. It's not real money. So
Everything Preston is saying
it's accurate.
is the exact opposite of what you should do.
But you know, I don't
Also, you know
know.
I have the option to kick you, right? Off this thing. I have a little button right there.
You don't even know. You know, I'm a really wise dude. Okay, I'm extremely
Not
wise.
today.
But you know,
Okay.
what would you say that was your summary or of your lead up to college? Were you worried?
I mean, a little bit, yes. I mean, I think I was excited for something new, but also nervous about the newness or the change of living by yourself. Well, not really by yourself. I lived with someone in the dorms at A&M, but obviously it's a big difference between your parents and living by yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I think I was definitely worried about that because I really, you know, you grow to like your neighborhood. Kind of take for granted driving down the street every day. It's kind of nice, familiar. And you go somewhere that's totally new. It's just strange.
Al- Also, I grew up on a ranch out of the side of a small town, and then went to College Station, which is like a big town for me.
Yeah, for country folk like you, I bet it's real strange. Or for people that are
It,
from like a huge city too. I'm just from suburbs, so it's like kind of in the middle. So it's like not really, but
I mean, it was nice to having stuff so close by, but also a little weird that everyone was so close.
yeah, I feel like that would be strange if you were coming from there. How many of your friends went to
So,
A&M?
huh?
Did any of your friends from high school go to A&M?
Yeah, it was three of us:
Oh, okay.
me, Emily, and Jackie.
Good old Jackie.
Did you meet Jackie?
Man, I know Jackie.
Do you really?
Jackie Reinfeld.
Oh no. Okay. He did pre med stuff.
Oh, it's a boy.
So so yeah, I thought, I was like, you might have met him because he took all the pre med stuff.
No, I don't know Jackie, but I'm sure if I saw him,
You would know if you
I
met
would
him.
know because he'd
Um,
tell me his name was Jackie.
but
But
yeah, there's only three of us who went to A&M.
yeah, I feel like in my school, the majority of people went to A&M. Like really, most people went to A&M, or a good amount of people went to Tech, and then a lot of people went to Oklahoma schools or UT, A&M,
You did do it,
UT, TU.
but you didn't do like impact like I did for A&M, did you?
Yeah, no, I didn't do that. I had like a orientation at Texas Tech, and it was a lot less friendly. It was a lot less friendly. Also, just for people that are watching this, that maybe you're a freshman coming in, maybe you're not. Maybe no one will ever see this, whatever. But anyway, freshman coming in, everyone's gonna look a lot older than you, but they're really not because a senior really, for the most part, can't really tell the difference between a freshman and a senior. They're just going to look a lot older because I think it's just a mental thing. Because I remember showing up on campus, I was like, oh, God, like, yeah, I'm the youngest one here. These people are so old. Well, these people are about to graduate, be in the real world. It's like, that's weird. I was kind of intimidated a little bit. I don't know. Did you feel like everyone was old when you got there?
Um,
Not
hmm.
old, but like, more
I
adults.
think. Well, I think there were some people I thought so, but then also a lot of people I thought like, okay, these guys are just, they got to be freshmen or sophomore
Yeah.
or around my age.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's some people when you look at them, you're like, dude, that person looks like they're
Yeah.
old.
That looks like a 30-year-old.
But there is people like that
Yeah.
though.
And they probably are. I mean, I'm sure you
But
actually.
there's also people who are seniors who also look like they're freshmen.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then there's PhD students who are literally late 20s,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, or early
Yeah.
30s. So I mean, it's kind of hard to tell
Oh
sometimes.
yeah.
I mean, I could tell when I was a senior, I could tell freshman.
Yeah. When you're a senior,
But
you can for the most part tell
that's
freshmen.
because, yeah, that's just because you've been there long enough that you can kind of just
Yeah,
tell.
and then they look lost, and they usually have the shirts on from fish camp.
Yeah, so whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I didn't realize how much you stood out when you're a freshman when you first get there.
Oh yeah. Oh, you stare like a sore thumb. You don't even know where you're going.
especially A&M.
Oh yeah, because it's huge.
But I mean,
It's
whatever.
it's it is what it is. But I guess now, let's go to college itself. Let's go to social groups. Did you join any groups? I don't think I. I mean, I didn't my
Mm,
freshman
I
year.
don't. I don't think I did. Well, wait, what did? No, I don't think
I
so.
mean, I didn't.
I don't think I. I did play tennis for a while with the tennis group, but I don't. I think that was spring of freshman year
Yeah,
that I did that.
I did something similar.
But I did. I did do. I went to Ultimate Frisbee, the A&M Ultimate Frisbee
Oh,
group,
that's cool.
like twice.
I think I've.
Um,
Oh, they practice next to club soccer. Yeah, dude, those people are actually pretty cool.
but I mean, most of the friend group I was with was people from Impact. If you know what Impact is like the fish camp or introduction to A&M. But uh, I mean, I don't know how you would say that because fish camp is A&M's version of
Like orientation,
orientation. And then there's a Christian organization that's called the Impact that does the same thing, kind of.
and it's like fun. You get to meet people and you like get into groups and stuff, and you
Yeah,
can.
yeah, small groups, and
Yeah,
then you get to know a bunch of people in a bunch of different majors, and everyone's a freshman going to A&M, and there's sophomores leading it, and there's juniors and seniors also leading.
yeah.
So you kind of get to they give tips and whatever, and they do a bunch of hangouts right before A&M starts. Because right before A&M starts is like what was it called, Aggie Week, or
Yeah.
they
What is
changed
that
it
week called?
a few
Maroon
times.
Maroon Week.
Whatever. Yeah, the week before college starts, A&M, there's a lot of activities that happen. So during that week, I was there, and with Impact, I did a bunch of stuff with my group.
Yeah,
But I was Judah, was the group I was in.
it's pretty
Alpha Judah was what we were.
represent,
So I got to know a lot of my friends and social people through that
and it's pretty unique to
freshman
A and
year.
M. Like it's pretty. I don't know any other colleges that do it. I think it's a great idea, honestly. So if you're
Yeah,
going to A and
I
M,
mean,
like do it. Even if you think it's going to be awkward, you should do it because it's.
yeah, no, especially if you think it's gonna be awkward. 'Cause I thought it was gonna be awkward, and it kind of was some at the very, very beginning. But then it gets pretty easy real
Oh
fast.
yeah, and everyone wants to meet somebody. Like everyone in college is pretty much just like the normal freshman. They're like, oh, I don't know anybody here other than my high school friends. Like,
I think, but that's the thing. When you're freshman, you don't understand that.
yeah,
But then when you look back, you're like, oh yeah, everyone also wanted to get to know
yeah.
everyone because they didn't want to be alone.
I had talked with my friend. We were up in his tree actually before we were leaving for college, and we were like, yeah, we were really talking about that exact thing. We were like, yeah, everyone wants to make friends, so like you just strike up a conversation with somebody in your dorm, like in the elevator. And I remember going there, and I was like, nope, sorry,
It's a lot harder than it
it's way
looks.
harder than it looked. So like, what's your
But
major?
once you start it, it's. I mean, freshman year is super easy to make
Oh yeah,
friends.
and then freshman year is like the best time to get involved because like later on in college, like if you start something kind of late, it's kind of a bummer when you make good friends. You gotta like leave immediately, so that kind
Yeah,
of stinks. But overall, it's and then join a church too. Like Grace is like a if you're doing summer classes, honestly, I would recommend summer classes to anybody. If you're just gonna take one,
oh yeah, summer classes is
pretty it's a pretty good
the
time.
way to
It
go.
is. I mean, if you're gonna be in an easy summer class and you can stay on campus, so I mean, at least this a lot of stuff is specific to A&M, but it's pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I literally met the majority of my friends during summers in A&M.
Yeah,
All right, yeah. What about I'm in classes? I mean, that's pretty much a shock from high school and then to college. You're just especially for someone like me. I mean, I didn't take any AP classes. I got my first college class and I was like, oh man, I'm actually gonna have to read the books. Don't buy the books. Just don't.
oh yeah. I mean, I still think it was harder than like I took 24 hours before I went to A&M at a community college, but at A&M, I mean, at least A&M. I guess I can't speak for all the
Right.
colleges, but it was harder than my community college was.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're taking a full schedule and you're fully independent at this point.
Yeah.
So your own study habits and all that kind of like come up, and it's like, oh, you actually have to study.
And
I mean, I had to study for calculus, Cal 1, that I took right after high school. And that probably set me up pretty well because I actually really had to study pretty hard for that.
yeah.
And I went to A&M. And so I had to study more than I thought I had to study, but I did well enough and I guess I just knew when I knew stuff, like after studying for a while, like you understand, I could figure out like, okay, I actually know what I'm talking about now.
Yeah.
But that took a lot longer to do in college than when I was in high school. In high school, I could do it like no problem,
Oh yeah.
or at least like just for like an hour, and that would be like, oh yeah, we're good.
Oh yeah.
But college was not the same.
No, it's
And then I think another thing was balancing out because when tests come up, tests can come together or apart or however they come. So you have to prioritize different subjects and what you think is going to be harder than the other tests. So you have to kind of learn that kind of stuff as well, especially freshman year.
yeah. It's pretty. It's like I think that's pretty important too. Like for people coming in college, like you got to understand, like it's pretty dynamic. Like if you assume that college will be like your first 2 to 3 weeks, you're like it's gonna be the same. Like it's not because like once you get the test week, pretty much college works on a constant up and down roller coaster. You will have a test week, and then it'll be over, and then you will coast for a while, and you will just take good notes. You won't look at any of it at home. Then the week before the test, you'll start studying, and then you'll have your test, and then you'll go back to cruising.
That's an ideal
Right.
situation. People would not do not look a week before the
I'm
test
not gonna lie,
unless
I do
you're.
that.
I mean, no, I did that, but that's because after I learned that I was like, okay, I need a little bit more time to do
Right.
this.
Yeah.
But when you're a freshman, you don't know that.
Yeah. 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 If you
But you should spend at least a week before, like at least starting to look at stuff, like the oldest stuff, so you can be like, oh, okay, I kind of remember
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Or if you can study, like honestly, if you can study 30 minutes every day, I mean, that's something that works for me, but it's not my favorite thing to do. I think, I mean, teachers, I mean, not teachers, professors say to do all this stuff. I didn't listen to any of my professors, freshman or so, I mean, just throughout college, really, but mostly freshman and sophomore year, I kind of blew them off. But then I started applying it like junior and senior year. I was like, oh, wait a second. I just came up with this great idea all by myself. I should study the week
Yeah.
before the test and use the review that she gave us. That'd be a good idea. Man, why didn't you tell
Oh
us
yeah.
that?
Always use the professor
Oh
reviews.
yeah. It's not even an option. Like if the professor gives you anything, any sort of study material, you should just use it. I mean, I did you start out doing that freshman year? Because I know I didn't. I just ignored it.
The
Yeah.
reviews. I always study the reviews. I always study the PowerPoints as well. Like if they gave me a PowerPoint, I'm like, got it. I just need to memorize this PowerPoint.
Yeah.
That's what I did for geology.
Power
I took two geologies my freshman year.
PowerPoints are hit and miss though, because like sometimes you can have like the good PowerPoints that are like, oh, this covers everything because the professor just reads off
Yeah,
PowerPoint.
yeah, yeah. My geology professor, that's how he had his. But there's other professors who don't do that.
Oh yeah,
You that's also freshman year, or at least actually for all college. The first like test and week or for a few weeks is learning what the professor is like.
yeah. If you know what your professor's like, you can be pretty successful.
Which is why when you're like a junior or senior, you take some of the same professors. You already know how they take tests or they make their tests and like how they do their classes. So it's much easier to make a better grade in their classes because you already know what to expect from them.
Oh yeah, super easy. And then emailing your professors
Because
too is huge. Like if you email your professors, you just email them anything. I mean, like for the most part, they'll respond even if they're sassy. That was literally how I would. That's just how I operate. Like if I had a question, like I didn't know it, and it was something that I didn't necessarily need to go into office hours for because I didn't have 1,000 questions, I would just be like, hey, what is this? I'm trying to figure it out. And I'd tell them my thought process, and then they give me pretty much the
did you,
answer.
did you do that since freshman year or did you start doing
I
it
actually
later?
did that since freshman year because office hours, because I've always heard, go to office hours. So the first time I show up to office hours, it's for a biology class my freshman year. Um, and I definitely was not prepared for this biology class. And they're talking about like all this stuff that I have no clue like what it is. I took it out of sequence. And so I show up to office hours and, I show up thinking, okay, like this guy, like, he's just going to kind of tell me like generally what the unit's concepts are over. And, I'll leave. Like I'll have a better understanding and then I can go study from there. Not how it works. He was like, I sit down. He's like, all right, what do you need? He has a cat in his office too. I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Um, so I sit down and I'm like, yeah, I'm just like having trouble on like just kind of like what to focus on for the test. Like, don't really know what to focus on. He's like, all right, cool. Like, what questions do you have though? I was like, oh, like that. I'm in my head. I'm like, okay, yeah, that was my question. Like that was my question. He's like, yeah, like, do you have any like specific examples? Like, one of the rules I have in my office hours is that like I can only answer like specific questions that students give. And I was like, okay, well, I couldn't think of any, so I thought of one, and I was like, yep, that was pretty much all I needed. Bye. I was embarrassed. So
Uh,
from that point on, because I knew I wasn't going to write them down, I'm not the kind of person to write them down and remember it and then go to office hours. I would just send them an email and then just be like, hey, what do you think of this? And tell them my thought process, because I found out if you just say, hey, I don't understand how metabolism for this bacteria works, they'd be like, go look it up in the books, page 447. I'd be like, oh, great, awesome. I was just on that page. But if I say like, oh, okay, like I understand it does this, this, and this, but I'm not understanding this, and then I would always mention like, I am reading the book, but it's not super clear on this. Then they would answer. You pretty much have to learn how to communicate with your professors without, making them angry.
that's actually. I don't think I really emailed my. I did email my professors, but I think I did that more later. I don't think I really did it freshman year. I don't think I really went to office hours freshman year. Rarely. I think maybe once or twice.
Wow.
But I also don't think I had super hard classes that I really had to go to classes or go to what were they called? Office hours.
And your hard classes, I mean, for freshmen at least, I mean, at least for you and me both, our hard classes probably didn't pick up until later, junior and senior
Yeah,
year.
my junior year was my hardest year,
And I
but
think if you're,
that's just for me.
yeah, junior year was also a very, I'd say junior year was probably my hardest year as well. And then my
But
last
the thing
semester,
is, I graduated early, so my junior year was kind of senior
yeah,
year.
yeah.
Since I graduated a semester early, I was kind of a semester ahead. So
Honestly, that should have been
that
like your
also,
first semester senior year, which is normally people's most
yeah,
hardest semester.
yeah. So that's why that was my hardest, probably. But I mean, freshman year, I mean, we can't talk about this before the podcast, but how stressed were freshman
Oh,
year?
right.
Or do you remember being stressed freshman
I
year?
honestly don't really remember it being that stressed. I remember sitting there thinking like, man, if I don't get the grades that I want, I can't transfer to A&M. But I never thought like, if I don't get the grades I want, I'm not going to graduate. I'm going to fail. I never put myself in that situation. But um, I kind of I kind of agree with kind of what we had said before the podcast, just that I think you just continue to get more like the stress levels. It's not that the stress increases, but the stakes are raised the more stress you are. So, for example, like if you're
Yeah,
worried about getting a C in a freshman class, okay, when you're graduated and you're looking at applying to graduate programs or whatever, you're gonna be like, oh, that was nothing. Now I'm worried about if I'm gonna get in this program, or in your case, like am I gonna have a job I like, you know, coming
yeah.
out, and then it just seems like the stress is like less like kind of like I used to be stressed about whether or not I was gonna be able to go outside for recess. Now I'm really not worried about that. I don't know. What would you think? Were you stressed freshman year much?
I mean, I don't remember being stressed. I'm sure I was to a certain extent, but I don't distinctly remember having like awful, just terrible days in freshman year.
Do you see other people who were stressed?
Yes,
Yeah, that's the worst.
I remember people being like super stressed, and I was like, oh man, I don't know. I feel fine. I don't know if I felt fine, but I was like, I feel like I'm doing all right for freshman year.
Doing better than that guy.
True.
I mean,
But then other people seemed like they were doing fine too. So I was like, I don't
you don't know
know.
where you
Are
should
they
be.
just hiding it really well? I don't know.
And then I guess as long as you don't give yourself something to be stressed about, yeah, I think it probably kind of helps having. I don't know. You have older siblings, so having an older sibling that went
Yeah.
to A&M, did that help with your transition to A&M?
Actually, now that I think of it, yes. Well, I mean, my parents also went to
Right,
A&M, but they all were like, it's going to be hard.
right.
Like, it's not the same. Like, it's all right if it's hard. So I think my expectations were like, I already knew it was going to be hard. So I had already set myself up like, okay, this is going to be different. I'm going to have to work harder. So I already knew but I mean, even when I went to college, I still was like, I mean, I really do have to work harder.
Right.
But still, like I had prepared myself at least to the environment that I was going to go into. I was like, okay, this is going to be different. It's going to be hard, but also they also said it was going to be great. So okay,
Yeah.
which was they were completely correct. So
Yeah. Seriously, college is like, I mean, yeah, I see why college is definitely like one of the highlights. It's freaking awesome. College is pretty great.
I did hear that A&M was like one of the happiest campuses.
I've heard that too, and I can see it. I mean, just being here in Tyler, not that Tyler, sucks or anything, but it's when you leave A&M, it's a shock
There's some kind, yeah,
because there's so many Christians. I mean, like there's so many other Christians down there, so many people that want to read the Word, get in the Word, care about the Word of God, and want to align their lives with that. And then that's kind of the group you and I hung out with, in church, like people that were like that. And there's just a big population of those people at A&M, and typically those people tend to be, you know, in a pretty good mood. But also I think education plays a role into it because um, typically when you move to like another city that's not a college town, you don't just have people that have college degrees because college towns are pretty much funded by the people that work for the college and then the people that go to the college, so college educated folk. And then, but when you go to a different town, for example, Tyler is like very industrial. So like there is a lot of people without a college degree. Not that they're any less happy, but I think it can be more of a grind, and maybe not as enjoyable if you have that luxury. I guess. I mean that's not what I'm trying to say, but it's definitely
yeah,
real world stuff. And people, if you get fired from your job, like it kind of sucks because like I mean, it's gonna suck anywhere, but you get fired for your job, like people have a family to take care of, So I it feels that way in Tyler for sure because there's lots of industrial type stuff here. So I think we're very fortunate to be able to go to A&M and like actually like get a
yeah.
degree, you know. So I don't know.
It seems like, I mean, it seemed like, I mean, there's also, there's not always positive, but I mean, I feel like most people, it was a positive experience.
Yeah,
I don't think most people were like, oh, I hated it.
yeah. That's why they call them two
I don't know.
percenters.
Actually, I don't know. I don't know of anyone who said that, but
I don't either. I know of one guy, and that's why they call them two percenters. 'Cause it's only 2% of the people there.
oh
You know.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's very true.
I mean it's pretty much as good as you can get. You don't realize it when you're there though. So for
No, you don't.
any freshmen listening,
Yeah.
enjoy
So
it.
if you're a freshman, I hate you.
Yeah, I hate you because you get to relive my glory days. You know,
Something like that.
but it's awesome. College is pretty awesome, but I think it's
Um,
still.
is there anything else about freshman year that you
I'm trying
remember?
to think. I do remember being like, I remember going to sleep at night and being like, this kind of goes into I guess homesickness, I guess. But I remember going to sleep at night sometimes, and I'd be like, dang, like I'm not in my own bed at home. Like, granted, my freshman year, I roomed with like one of my best friends, but I mean, it's still weird. You're actually living with somebody in the same room. I'm not gonna lie, that's not great. But yet somehow dorm life is awesome. Anyway, I remember falling asleep a lot of nights in the beginning and be like, oh, this is kind of weird. Like, I kind of wish I was home, but also like I don't want to be home. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't. I don't know. This might be bad, but I don't remember being homesick. I mean, I did go home freshman year. I went home for my birthday, Thanksgiving. So I mean, my birthday's in October 7th, so that's like right after you start school.
Oh yeah,
And then I went to Thanksgiving, which is a little bit later. So I mean, I mean, it's not like I didn't go home all freshman year. Like I went home between. So I mean, I never felt like I was homesick because I went home at least twice a semester, or maybe more, depending on what was happening. But I don't remember being homesick. I mean, but I do remember the thing of being at A&M and being like, oh wow, like I'm independent to a certain extent, of
right.
course, but
But more so,
pretty independent. Of like, I can just go to the movies right now and stay up all night if I wanted
and
to.
no one can stop you. It's weird.
Yeah, it's just and it's like, oh, I can just call Weston and we can go get some food right now if we wanted
Yeah.
to.
No.
Like it's not like there's no like real boundaries of like, oh yeah, there's no one really here to like tell me what to do or like to say something,
And then like your parents,
especially if you live on campus.
yeah. And then like your
Huh?
parents, like it's kind of weird. Your parents like, so what are you doing? And like, oh, that's right. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah,
I'm doing anything I want to do. I
whatever I
guess
want.
I don't know.
What do you not want me to do? I'm gonna go do it. No, but yeah, I would agree with that. Like, especially the first part. I never felt like homesick. Like, again, yeah, this sounds bad also, but like, I never missed my parents necessarily, really like that in that way, because I was just excited to be there. But at the same time, I missed
Hmm.
the familiarity of home, but not in a way that was
Yeah.
like, dang, like, oh man, this is so strange. I wish I wasn't here. Should have gone to the community college down the street. No, it was never like that. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, like I know I feel homesick, but I know I'm gonna get over this. Like, so I'm gonna go
I
play
mean,
golf.
I feel like there is people though who do feel homesick,
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Rightly so.
who are super homesick.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Well, I just think I enjoyed it too much. Like I got to know people and I was like, oh, this is fun. I like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. It's
It wasn't perfect all the time, but
yeah.
still, overall.
Especially like if your parents are like a big source of like advice and help to you. I feel like um, guys for sure too, because guys ask their parents for advice as well. But I know a lot of girls who like they're, real close to their moms or like maybe their dad, and they like they really enjoy just sitting on the couch
Yeah.
talking to their parents. Um, so I mean I've heard that from friends who are girls at A&M. They just love spending time with their mom, and it's kind of funny. The moms will always. It seems like the mom will make like separate trips to A&M just to visit. Like dad's like hanging out at home.
My parents, I don't think my parents, did your parents ever visit you at A&M?
um, Twice, yeah, and then graduation. I think yeah,
So
twice.
my parents came to set me up freshman year to move all my stuff in. Um, and they came when I broke my
Oh,
leg. My mom came when I broke my leg
I remember that.
senior year and came for graduation.
Dang, you got three.
I think it's like 3 times.
I think.
And I graduated early, so like that was like a semester, not even.
God,
But
that,
and the only reason they came for the broken leg because I literally
I
broke
mean,
myself.
it
So
was legitimately moved.
it would have only been like 2 times,
Yeah.
unless there's another time my parents know of that they came, which they might have. But I don't really distinctly remember any other
How far
times.
away? I guess my parents came probably closer to. I think maybe close to
Oh
5.
wait, no, my parents came. My parents helped me moved into my sophomore year,
Sophomore year. Where'd you live sophomore year? Oh, you
Midtown.
lived there 2 years.
Yeah,
Oh man,
Midtown, sophomore junior year. Oh wait, didn't they help me move into
I think
our
they did.
house?
I think they did, and I wasn't there.
I
They
think
brought
they
the
did.
trailer, right, or something.
Oh yeah, my dad brought the truck.
Look at you, freaking underselling your
So I guess
parents.
they just,
Look
huh?
at you underselling your parents. I did it too, though. I realized my
They,
parents came like
they,
six
they,
times.
so I mean, what was that? 4 times
Yeah,
then? Five
4.
times? Basically, to
Yeah,
move me in, help me move in was the times they've helped me.
you were like
When they came to
4 or 5 hours away.
A&M.
4.
4,
Yeah,
I
my
think,
parents were
something like
3.
that.
Whenever they lived in Plano, they were like 3.5. When they lived in Dallas, it was like 3 on the dot. But my parents never. Okay, that was the part that did kind of suck though. My parents never helped me move in. Um, so I always had to like pack my car full,
Full?
yeah. And my dad would just be like, "Yeah, you can get a U-Haul if you want," like, and just attach it. Because I used to have like a Jeep Cherokee, and so I'd always have to
Yeah.
move my stuff by myself. So I'd always ask my friend Joey to come help me move. I'm just super glad that he helped me move because also I like don't have any stuff, so it's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't think you
Yeah, I don't know.
know. Side note, freshman, don't think you can make your freaking dorm room like the epitome of junk because you're gonna have to move it all.
Yeah, don't. I wouldn't
I
bring a
definitely would
lot.
not bring a lot because you will accumulate.
The essentials.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and most likely
But
your roommate will have stuff
yeah,
like
I had a good roommate
yeah,
too,
I did
freshman year.
too. Mine brought TV and an Xbox. I know that
Oh,
was
that's
pretty
nice.
nice. It,
Me and Russell, we actually got along pretty well. I mean, we talked to each other and talked about stuff, and then we both did our own kind of thing, and it was actually pretty good.
that's all you can ask for, especially when you get random.
Both respected each other's space.
Man,
Random roommate.
God,
So
that
I mean,
that's
yeah.
that's
I do remember I wanted to be very independent, which is probably why I wasn't very homesick, because I like being independent.
yeah.
I like doing my own
I,
thing. So that's probably why I liked college so much, or freshman year so much.
I think I did. I think for the same reason I did as well. I just enjoyed. I mean, even now, I just enjoy. If I'm gonna go to Walmart and I need to get something, I might as well go to Walmart and I'll probably walk around and look at other stuff while I'm there just for fun. I just kind of enjoy doing stuff on my own. Like I've kind of always enjoyed hanging out by myself. Not that I don't do that all the time, but if you can,
I mean, you have a
yeah,
wife
I have a
now.
wife now, so you know, never alone. Just kidding. But I guess an important thing to hit on, at least briefly, is that future freshmen. I'm sure this will have millions of views. This video will. I'm sure. Podcast. I know lots of people will be watching this within the next 24 hours. If you have a sucky roommate and you're watching this video a couple months from now, I'm so sorry. You should just go join a church. Okay. My junior year,
Yeah.
I had two awesome roommates, and then one roommate who was not so awesome. And let me tell you, I love him. I love him, but let me tell you, I don't like him. Every Saturday morning, without fail, I wake up to a screaming loud TV, which that wasn't just him. To be fair, I understand. And I wake up to the smell of fried pickles every morning. His parents had bought him a deep fryer, and every Saturday morning, this deep fryer is making fried pickles, fried green beans, all this stuff, which is great, right? Okay, I love fried food. Okay, you got to clean it up though. You know how much a mess a fryer makes? A lot more than you think it'd make. A lot more. You know who's not going to clean the fryer? Bad roommate. He's not going to clean it. You're going to have to clean the fryer.
You definitely have to get used to having
Yeah.
roommates, and things are not always perfect.
Yeah. Especially.
Even if you have good roommates.
Oh yeah. Even if you have roommates, it's still strange. Even when you're a senior, I mean, it's still kind of. I don't know, but then at that point,
but freshman year is super strange.
oh yeah, super strange. It's just like I just live with this dude now.
It's kind of walking in. You're like, hey, I'm your roommate for the next year. Don't know you at all. I hope you're cool, because if you're not, this is not gonna work out.
Please don't smoke weed in here. Like you can go do it outside. Like please don't do it in here.
I mean, there's all kinds of stories of freshman year with people having that
There,
kind of stuff.
yeah,
so.
there's
And awkward situations.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. If a freshman asked you what should I do? Should I room with a friend from high school that's going to the same university as me, or should I pick a random? What would you tell him?
Oh, that's hard. If you have the choice and you like your friend, I would say yes, but you have to like them. Like you can't just be like, "Oh, we're friends, acquaintances," because that might not work out.
You got to know them.
But also you can get bad luck with a random roommate and hate that person forever. Yeah. Or on the opposite, you could find someone you really like and you're your best friend for the rest of your life. Or you just find someone like me and Russell know each other still. We'll say something to each other once in a while, but it's not. We're friends, but not like best friends.
Right? Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean, right?
He's probably listening to us like, "Are you serious?" No.
I haven't talked to him in a little while.
Yeah,
I need to text him.
you should.
See what he's doing.
I think
he's graduated too.
What was his major?
Whatever. I'll look it up later.
Petroleum engineering or something?
What?
Nothing. I don't know why I said that.
He was engineering.
Wasn't he petroleum engineering?
No, he was mechanical engineering. I don't even know if he stayed with that.
So
I know he stayed with the engineering, but I don't know if he
probably like psychology now.
No, definitely not. I know he worked for Boeing.
That's pretty cool. I roomed
friendship.
with, like I said earlier in the podcast, I roomed with one of my best friends from high school, and that I think if I could give somebody the advice, I would say if you know the person, it's best to not pick your best friend. Granted, I mean, I've got numerous best friends, but in high school, he was definitely one of my best friends, and still is for sure. And it's like you know them so well that like there's really not much room to know them more other than to know the bad things, other than like so. That was kind of how that went. So like now, like with Joey, I feel like more because we live together. I feel like it's more like kind of like brotherly rather than like friendly because we live together. And like I
Yeah.
literally like I mean we'd get mad at each other sometimes um like legit just like I mean not like argument mad like freak out but like irritated no problem telling each other and I actually think that made our friendship better but it definitely it was kind of strange. It's just strange seeing a friend from high school like in their living habitat.
Well, I think it is. It depends on. I mean, it depends on the freshman, but I feel like most people want to have like a new start
Yeah,
in some ways of being like, oh, I'm gonna like, because I mean, I knew Emily and Jackie, people who graduated from my or went to high school with, but we didn't really hang
yeah.
out. I mean, we still saw each other every once in a while. I was like, hey, like, caught up and everything, still friends and everything, but I think we all went kind of our own ways and did our own thing, which I think was good.
I think that's important. Yeah, I think that's super important, especially if you're at A&M. The chances of you getting somebody that is just gonna ruin your freshman year is really low. Because I think A&M has really high quality people that they let into their schools or into the school. Like you
Well,
know,
I would agree, but I would also say freshman year weeds out a lot of the
that's
bad
true.
people.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, people do fail
Like a lot
out.
of people fail
Yeah,
out. I mean, not a lot, but I mean, there's a decent amount who either freshman year they're the wild, they're crazy
yep,
freshman year, and then they kind of calm down over the next few years as they realize they need to pick up their
yeah.
act, or they just fell out completely and
Just don't come back.
they're out.
So you may end up
Yeah.
alone.
So I mean, it kind of goes both
Yeah, it
ways.
really does. And I think that there's two sides. I think now going back, I probably would have still lived with Joey, but also at the same time, it would have been nice to meet a random person. But then again, it was kind of nice because I could always like. So if I wanted to go, because I didn't do any social groups my freshman year, if I wanted to go, because this is at Tech, if I wanted to go to and they didn't have like a fish camp and stuff. So I guess if you're going to a college other than A&M where you don't start off meeting anybody, if you live with a friend, it's kind of nice because you have somebody to go to the dining hall with, you have somebody to go to football games with. So we would just do pretty much everything together because like why not? I mean you're here. You want to get food? All right, yeah, let's get food. We would go get, you know, I mean not breakfast, but sometimes breakfast, but usually lunch, dinner, and then second dinner uh, together, and probably have our breakfasts separately. So it's just always nice to kind of have somebody to hang out with that you could like go places with because I think you don't want to if you have a random roommate like you don't want to annoy them at first, you know. So like
Yeah.
even though you and I were friends when we moved in together at first, I wasn't going to ask you to play basketball, every day, even though I probably wanted to play basketball every day. But then if your leg hadn't broken, I probably would have been asking a lot more because friendship grew when we were like the longer you live with them. So I think you have an
Yeah.
easier time starting off if you know the person. But I think in the long run, you gain a friend if you don't know the person coming in. So I don't know. Just kind of depends on where you go to school. Because maybe if you go to like I don't know, maybe if you go to like a not great university and you're aware of it, then maybe you don't want. Maybe if you go to like a party school, maybe you want to be a little bit more cautious about picking a random roommate.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And it also depends how much you want to meet other people. I mean, I didn't do a bunch of organizations, but a lot of people at A&M freshman year, I know they like apply to all these organizations, like want to do all this stuff, and usually it overwhelms people because they do a bunch of organizations, like too many. So, but I didn't do that at all. I was the opposite
That's
of most
smart
people.
though.
I think for at least from what I understand, I was pretty much the opposite of most people. I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not going to apply any flows or all this other stuff." I'm like, "I'll be
Oh
fine by
yeah. I
myself."
mean, if you can just stick to one.
But I also knew a lot of people from Impact, so I didn't feel like I needed to.
Impact is so helpful, honestly. I mean, like,
Yeah. So,
I think that's a good idea.
I mean, if I had not done Impact, I really do not know what I would have done.
I guess you would have met people at Grace though.
Like, I'm not kidding either. Like, I literally don't know what I would have
Yeah,
done.
but you could have. How'd you find out about Grace? Impact? I mean, not Impact. Yeah, Impact.
No, no. Um, my cousin Scott was going. He was a senior when I was a freshman. He went to
Oh,
Grace,
okay.
Anderson.
That's
So
Grace is awesome.
that's how I went. That's how I started to go to
Getting
Grace.
plugged into a church is pretty huge.
Yeah, I definitely think I should have done more. I should have done a Bible study freshman. Well, I think I did do a Bible study freshman year, but it was only for freshmen. I kind of wish I'd just done one for
Oh,
all
yeah,
ages, if that
I
makes
think so
sense.
too.
Like a all guys or a co-ed or something that has like a
Oh
bigger
yeah,
group, and then go in and then stay with that Bible study. Because I just stayed with the same Bible study kind of my junior and senior year, and I like that.
yeah.
But
It's nice because, especially like going in as a freshman, like there's seniors there. I remember whenever I was in my senior year, I was a substitute Bible study leader, but I actually ended up subbing into like nearly half of the Bible studies. So it was pretty much a full fledged Bible study leader. So I had, our Bible study was huge. We had like 22 people at one point, and we typically averaged around
yeah,
15.
that's a
Yeah,
lot.
it was a lot. It was actually supposed to.
That's a pretty
Oh
big
yeah,
group.
it was a good group. We were actually supposed to split, um, and me and Drew um, were supposed to actually go lead one group and have a split, but that didn't happen. But anyway, so there were freshmen in our group, and I think one thing as seniors, me, Hayden, and then Michael did was we really tried to focus on the freshmen and like be able to like get them involved and like really try to invite them to things. So like I think if you're a freshman and you get into like a Bible study, I think it's good to get into one that's not just freshman only because pretty seniors
Yeah,
will, for the most part, kind of they care about where you're going.
yeah. So
Yeah, I think we covered everything.
I think that's pretty much it. I
I
can't think of
can't
anything
think.
right now.
Okay, I guess overall thoughts. What would you give your freshman year 1 out of 10?
Oh gosh,
0.
I guess an 8. I can't really think of anything bad, but I mean I wouldn't think it was anything crazy.
Yeah, I think.
I don't know if it's even. I don't know. It's pretty average. Or I mean, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I want to stay with an
Do you
8
say
actually.
8 or A? Yeah, I would
8.
give mine a. I think at the time, whenever I was there, I probably would have given it a 6. Looking back, I think I'd give it a 8 as well. I'd give it an 8. It was good. I had a good time. Freshman year was the best. And then okay, yeah, let's. Why don't you leave the viewers with one piece of advice, and then I'll do the same
One piece
for
of advice for
freshman
freshman
year.
year: don't overextend
That's really
yourself.
good advice. That's probably the best advice, honestly. My advice,
Well, for especially for A&M, because a lot of people push a
yeah,
lot of organizations, and a lot of organizations are trying to find people, and it can be, and people apply to a lot of places, and then either they get denied and they get really crushed by it, or they get accepted to a lot of things and they try to do all this other stuff
yeah,
and
and that's
school.
just because you're there for school. I mean, just take the freshman year to figure out what you're doing. Um,
Yeah, I mean, you should still, if you want to
yeah,
do something,
yeah,
apply
yeah,
to it. I
definitely
think that's
apply
all.
to it, but apply selectively. Just because your friend is in
Yeah,
this
like
flow doesn't mean you need to be in that flow.
yeah,
Yeah, and
definitely,
make sure. I
that's
mean,
true.
if it's between a flow and a Bible study, I would pick the one that's going to help you in the long term because you're going to have issues. So it's important to be in a Bible study. Yeah, I think that's honestly the best
Yeah,
advice. I guess so. Second best advice I'll try to give. I This is kind of cliche and it's kind of lame, but you pay attention to your freshman year GPA because that is typically people's lowest GPA is their freshman year GPA. If you can like get on top of things your freshman year, you you'll be you'll be glad you did later, because my freshman year was not great, and so I've always tried to compensate for my freshman year, um, where my GPA could be a lot better.
And those are usually the
Yeah, they're the
easiest
easiest
courses.
courses, and you have
Sometimes.
friends that like,
Sometimes.
yeah, other than like chemistry, biology, stuff like that, but
Yeah. The weed
most
out
likely you've
classes.
got friends in similar majors who have to take it who aren't going to be in your major later, and you get to study with them, and so there's really they're weed out classes, but you can actually do it together rather than doing like in your case a 400 level advanced GIS course with you know pretty much only seniors. Um,
Yeah.
so you can enjoy it more. The weed out courses are enjoyable because it's a bunch of different majors. So I guess that's my information. Pay attention to your freshman year GPA and learn how to calculate it and find out what it is, because I didn't do that until like the end of my freshman year, and I was like, oh no, that's not good. But I don't know. It's
Uh,
important to know how to
yeah.
calculate it. All
Yeah.
right, I think we did it.
Done.
Yeah,